VOGE here. In front of me, I have the Beats Fit Pro. These are the ones with the wingtips here. As you can see, the wingtip here is completely torn off. Here's our replacement part. So we will go ahead and replace that today. A few tools that you might need would be a Phillips 1.5. and then the plastic spudger. Then depending on what option and how you want that replaced, you may need 1.5 or something to pry and potentially some tweezers. We'll set this part aside here for now. So first step, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and apply heat right along the seam. And then we will separate the two halves. To do this, I have my heat gun set to 180 degrees Celsius. And this butt is just very worn, as you can see, plastic and the paint is coming off there already. All right, and oftentimes if you heated it up enough, you should be able to just take these two halves, like so, and then just pull on it. If it doesn't start going, you could just use a little bit more heat, and that's where you could use a plastic spudger as well with a little bit of alcohol and, get in between and separate the two halves. But in this case, we were able to get the adhesive warmed up enough that it just came apart to pull on it here. Now there are two cables that go across, so make sure you do not continue pulling too hard here. All right, and there are our two cables that I was talking about. So if you wanted to, one disconnects right underneath this cover here, while this one's built right into the board and it goes down into there. Just go ahead and clean up this leftover adhesive, just so then that when we'll be sealing the watch, we'll be ready to go. Okay, now the next step that we'll do, now that we have the two halves separated, would be to unscrew that screw holding it together right there. You can see right next to these wires going through, we have a screw right there. And we can just get a little bit of heat to soften up the adhesive on the screw. And that should be plenty. We'll grab our 1.5. All right, there we go. Now, there's a lot of adhesive right here on the back, holding this backside down still. And then also on this front here, if we take a look. So over here underneath, they have a lot of glue, so we'll heat that up a little bit to help us, pick that up. But I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but right here, there's a little bit of extra plastic on this left side from roughly right here. And there's a shield there that this is clipped on. So what we'll do is we'll lift up this backside and then we'll go ahead and push down and forward to get that clip out. Let's go ahead and heat up the back a little bit.
Hey, this is Joe from the Sauna. If this video brought you value, please support us by buying parts, tools, refurbished electronics, or sending your device in for repairs so we can keep offering you free repair tutorials. Back to the video.
So if you do have this left over a little bit and you can utilize that, that could help on lifting this up. There we go. All right. So got that loosened up. Next, what we're gonna do is push down a little bit and then push out. And there we go. So we lifted it up. Now we'll go ahead and just clean this up a little bit with that excess adhesive. All right. Now this is where placing this on can go two different ways. So either if you're able to, again, you can fit it through, bring it forward, down, and then you can get it clipped back on again. But if you're unable to do that, or you're having difficulties doing that, you can go and do that from the other side. So I'll show you that here in a second. To do this, what we'll go ahead and do is apply some heat here right next to this microphone. And you will see there's a plastic housing that this microphone is sitting on. So that's what we're going to want to grab on. So we'll just grab a flathead here. All right, and we have this lifted up. As you can see, we have this right here. So what's happening over here, this clip right here is, so as we're sliding it in through the top part, what we're trying to do is get that to sit there and hold it so it doesn't go anywhere. So what we will do now that we have this up, and when you lift this up, do make sure you do not tear the ribbon there. That goes to the button as well as the microphone. Now what we would do, if you're doing it the other way, you could first, put this on, put the screw on. But since we're going to go the other way, we'll just go ahead and clean the surface a little bit with some isopropyl alcohol. And we'll just put some adhesive back on. So we will just feed this through. Then we'll go ahead and just reinstall that screw so everything will be just held in place. All right, now everything is ready. And the way this sits is like so. So you would want to put it with the flat side. So these guys go and sit against the plastic, and this sits a little bit lower, connecting up to that. Again, do be careful not to tear those ribbons. All right, now that is secure in there. Now what we can do is just go ahead and place this back into its spot. Make sure you do not push on the microphone itself, just on the plastic housing that we lifted up by. You just apply a little bit of heat just to soften up that adhesive and then place it back in place. All right, next we'll go ahead and just prepare the housing for the adhesive to seal it back up. Again, just isopropyl alcohol with some Q-tips will be just fine. We'll just place some adhesive back to where we took some off to keep the microphone in place. As well, just a dab around the screw, just how it was before. Next, we can put it around this housing. Now we just go ahead and seal this up. And before sealing it up, you could double check to make sure that your button's working, that the button is back in its proper spot within the housing when we move that plastic piece out of the way. So once everything's working, go ahead and just seal it up. Now from here, you can just use some rubber bands if you have some rubber bands, saran wrap if you wrap it tightly, or you could use some clamps. All right, and that's how you would replace the wingtip on a Beats Fit Pro.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you guys love what we do, please support us. You guys can click on the links that we have on the end screen. You guys can buy our parts, sales, or service so we can continue to make great videos for you guys for many more years. Thank you.